Well, now that the garden's starting to come in, it's time to make some tomato sauce. This year we planted a lot of Roma. It's a paste tomato. Paste tomatoes are different in that they don't have much juice inside. They have fewer seeds, so it makes it easier to boil it down. If you, when you make tomato sauce, you have to boil it down, because if you just ground up the tomatoes, you'd end up with tomato juice. There's a lot of moisture there. I'll show you how to do that. So making tomato sauce consists of two basic steps. The first is removing the skin and seeds, and then the second is boiling them down until it's the right consistency. So to make sauce, we've got the tomatoes, somewhere to cut them, a bowl of ice water, and a pot of boiling water. So we throw the tomato into the boiling water, for about 30 seconds maybe. Usually I throw in more than one. And then you put it immediately into ice water. So once it's cool enough to touch, I slice it in half, slice off the end, and if you did it right, the skin should just sort of peel right off like that. And once you have the skin off, I just take it with a spoon and scoop out the seeds and jelly stuff. And you can see that's all there is in these tomatoes. That's why they're paste tomatoes, because there's not much to boil down. And you just toss them right in the pot and start them cooking. I like to put it on low heat, maybe around 3, on an electric stove. And those will just come to a boil and start to break them down and boil off the excess water. So I'm going to get to work here and do some more. Nice thing about paste tomatoes is they have a good tough skin, so it peels off easy. If you're making sauce, you want to use ripe tomatoes, not overripe, not diseased or blemished. You want them nice and healthy looking. If they're not quite ripe enough, I had a little problem with some of them, they were still a little green. The skin doesn't want to come off so good. You know, they'll still cook up fine. Alright, so they're all peeled. Now it's just a matter of letting them boil down. Add a little salt, a little basil leaf, and we'll boil it down, maybe take about 2-3 hours maybe. Depends on what consistency you want. As it's boiling, it's filling the house with wonderful smells of tomato sauce. I remember when I was a kid visiting my Italian grandmother in Ohio, and coming in from a hot day and smelling the smell of fresh tomato sauce. It's one of the great smells. So now we just wait. So it's been about an hour. You can see they're starting to break down and lose their shape. At this point, I like to come in with just a simple potato masher and sort of mash them up. Break them up a little faster. Some people like to use a blender or a food processor. I like to do it this way because it leaves a little bit of texture in there, you know. So you still get little bits of tomato. And you just kind of do it till you're happy with the way it looks. And, I suppose you could stop at this point. It's got a sort of consistency of salsa, sort of, but I want to make a real sauce, so I'm going to keep boiling, keep it on low, and just let it boil for another hour or so and check in on it again. Well, it's been about an hour and a half and it looks like it's done. That's the consistency I think I like. So now we'll just let it cool and put it in a container. Usually I freeze it. I think that I'm gonna just put this in the fridge because we're gonna make up some American chop suey, I think so. All right, and there you go, making sauce from tomatoes. This was a small batch, but you know, just couldn't wait to get those fresh tomatoes cooked up.